The bad news, a loved one has died. The good news, you inherited their IRA. The bad news, you declared bankruptcy. The good news, your inherited IRA is protected. Or is it? Mark Niederhelman is here with the latest news on creditors' claims to inherited IRAs. Mark is a financial advisor with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Welcome to the show.
Lori, nice to be here.
Now, I thought IRAs were safe from creditor claims.
Well, they are for the original creator of the IRA. In fact, that's one of the lesser known benefits of IRAs. An IRA owner can go through bankruptcy, have all of their debts discharged, and retain the funds in their IRA. That rule is in place to allow people that go through bankruptcy to have a little bit of a fresh start, so to speak. As a matter of fact, that rule applies to other types of retirement accounts like 401ks.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a good rule. So does that rule apply to inherited IRAs?
It does not. The U.S. Supreme Court says that where the beneficiary of an IRA is somebody other than the owner's spouse, the answer, quite frankly, is no. And the court's ruling is based on the differences between contributory IRAs and inherited IRAs. The court looked at inherited IRAs and says that, you are no longer allowed to make contributions to inherited IRAs. You can take the money out any time that you want. As a matter of fact, you are required to take money out of it. So the court has said that basically for a non-spouse beneficiary, that account is freely consumable. And if it's freely consumable for the beneficiary, it should be freely available to the beneficiary's creditors.
Well, I guess that makes some sense. Did the Supreme Court say anything else about these inherited IRAs?
Well, as a matter of fact, they did, Lori. And it's a decision that really surprised a lot of people. Basically, what the Supreme Court said is that for a non-spouse beneficiary, the IRA assets are no longer retirement assets. So since they are no longer retirement assets, they are not protected from creditors in a bankruptcy proceeding.
Oh, man. Okay. So is there some other way we can protect our IRA and leave it to somebody without these creditor claims?
There are, but it's going to take some additional steps on the original IRA owner's part. For example, an IRA owner can create something called a spendthrift trust and then have the trust named as the beneficiary of their IRA and have their heirs named as the beneficiary of the trust. This special kind of trust has spendthrift provisions. And spendthrift provisions basically say that the beneficiary of the trust cannot access the principal of the trust, nor can they promise these assets to somebody else. So the court has said that if the beneficiary can't access the funds in the trust, neither can their creditors. So by doing this, you can have a trust and have the inherited IRA basically an asset of the trust and protect it from creditors. But this requires some very careful planning and some very careful wording. The IRA, the trust, the spendthrift trust has to have some very special IRA compliant language. If it doesn't have this special language, the assets are not protected.
Okay, well, at least there's something we can do. All right, the bad news, your inherited IRA isn't protected from creditors' claims. The good news, there is a way to avoid this issue. For help, give Mark a call. The number's next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or click to www.lineweaver.net.